Welcome everyone, Jack Gash here again today, ready to talk to you about an interesting topic. So, spiritual warfare, what the hell is going on? The life is being saturated out of the people, the life is being saturated out of society by a virus, so-called virus. So, yeah, I'm not denying that the virus isn't real. Obviously, there's people out there who's, been taken away from this and died. People die of many things. People die of all kinds of health stuff. Obesity, heart attacks. We still have McDonald's, we still have fast food. People die from lung cancer, smoking. We still have cigarettes on the shelf. People die from car crashes. We still have, fucking fast cars being sold. There's many things that contradict things. And the main contradiction is this one that I've found, is that all of a sudden we're getting bombarded with vaccine. We've got to get vaccinated. We've got to have a vaccine. We've got to do it. Yet we've still got cancer. We've still got diseases that aren't being cured. That haven't been sorted. That haven't been fully cured. But yet we've got this absolutely monstrous-sized virus that's so impeccable that it just stops at nothing and can take anything on and keeps multiplying and getting worse and getting aggressively bigger like Bruce Banner. But in 7 months we've got a vaccine that cures it, that miraculously stops it. And yeah, we all need to get one. Now then, if you're in the position that I'm in, which, people out there, people aren't woken up to the truth of what is actually going on and how the people who are running the country and the people who are, in charge as such are, forming elements of control and, controlling society and directing society into like little kennels, At the end of the day, wear a mask, okay, we'll wear a mask. Take a vaccine, oh, we'll take a vaccine. Stay at home all the time, yeah, we'll stay at home all the time. What's next? So what's the next instruction? Oh, you can't do this. Okay, we can't do that then. Not allowed to go to school. Okay, we'll stop going to school then. So it's just a barrage all the time. And the thing is, we're not going to be allowed to restart society as you think we are. The Great Reset. Do a little bit of research. If you are an awakened person and you have woken up to the truth and you do realise that there's something a little bit more going on than just a virus. Like, people might be watching this video who are still, under government's thumb and be saying, this guy's talking rubbish, we need a vaccine to make us healthy, we need to do this, that. No. This virus has a 97% pass rate of, you feeling better. You can overcome this virus, and people do die. People do die of this, but, a weak, frail immune system would die to this. And people are at risk. Yes, that is true. The same way somebody who has asthma shouldn't start smoking cigarettes. Exactly the same, So it's getting made into larger than life. It's getting made into this big thing. And it's really odd because you almost see humanity as an intelligent species, as a very, higher being. We're quite intelligent to stuff around us as conscious beings. Yet we're all just stuck. We're all just watching. We're all just stood at the TV screen. All just stood in a pack, just looking at the light, just listening to what we're getting told, listening to what the next instruction is. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And if you're like me and you have woken up to the fact that it isn't as bad as what they're making out, and it isn't as dangerous as they're making out, and there does seem to be an element of control here, like you have to wear a mask now. It was a choice thing, now it's a mandatory thing. What's the next mandatory thing that we're going to have to do? What's the next thing that we're going to have to do? And the thing is, what's the dangerous part of what's happening here that I've noticed throughout this whole saga, this whole story about this virus, is that There's an exchange going on. It's like you do as you're told, and in return you get this. And there's a constant exchange going on here, like a constant barter, where we have to do certain things and we have to listen to certain rules and regulations, and in turn we get something back. And this kind of reward system is what's bringing us as a society into the element of control, because people are getting so put under pressure, like this lockdown. The virus isn't the dangerous thing, it's the lockdown that's the dangerous thing. There is so much mental health and so much pressure on people's minds because we've completely disconnected with people socially. We've turned to technology, that's our only form of socialisation, so we're constantly addicted into the tech. And now we're all hooked on the tech, and we're constantly invested in time in the tech, ultimately dumbing us down as human beings, ultimately taking away our natural biochemistry because we're completely addicted to a technological device. And then through this technological device, you've just got depression, coronavirus mentioned everywhere, constant bombarding of this virus that's just ongoing. And yeah, it's making humanity worse, and it's damaging the minds of the people. And this is what you need to realise, that it is a war on the mind, it is a war on the spiritual essence of human beings, because it's absolutely saturating the life out of us, and it's completely a low vibration. You look at how everything is being operated, it's not high vibrations, it's not we can get through this, come on, we can do this, it's not an operating system like that. The guy pops up on the TV, whatever the politician is, I don't care, I don't watch the news, I don't need to, but you just take one look at his eyes. Does that politician look happy? Is he creating happiness? And people might say, yeah, he's under pressure, he's got to organise this, he's got to do this, he's got to do it. It's not a case of that. What you've got to realise is that to own a country and to govern a country, you need to be in control. You need to have control. If you don't have control, then how can you run anything? So everybody's getting forced more and more into control. And, as the story unfolds, you'll see more and more about this. If you want to be a person who breaks free from the chains of this crazy, crazy story, you have to just kind of step back, review your life as who you are and where you exist in life, and look at the situation, because so many jobs have been lost, so many lives have just been turned upside down, and it's how you operate and pull yourself through this situation. And it's not your fault that you're in this situation, it's not your fault at all. It's the government's fault. And it's a real shame that they don't have to answer for the things that they're doing. And it's a real shame that they've managed to convince everybody in society that they're doing it for the best interests of the people. Because now more than ever, you've got such a pressure on mental health people. You've got people taking their lives because they can't take it anymore. And you don't get a mention of this. You think of how many drugs are getting taken on lockdown, how much booze is getting supped on lockdown, how many, people in domestic violence cases, people abused children that are not getting noticed. How many things have had a knock-on effect? You've got cancer patients waiting on treatment because they can't have treatment. You've got such a knock-on effect. Is this virus really that bad that it's causing all this? Why do you think the virus is so bad? Where do you get that information from? Where does it pop up? Where does the fear of this virus come from? Is it because you've seen a family member have it? And if it is, then fair dues, then you've got good reason to. Or is it because you've heard enough about it? And, what's your saving grace? Is it a vaccine? Is the vaccine going to cure us all? Well, you take your own opinion. Me personally, I don't think I'll be taking no vaccine. Just because I don't trust it. I don't trust something that can be fabricated and made up in 7 months. And to be honest with you, my personal opinion is my immune system's fine. I can, taking a vaccine doesn't mean you don't catch the virus. It just means you've created some form of antibodies. But if you've already had the virus or you've got a strong enough immune system, then you've already got the antibodies. It doesn't make sense. We're going into so many lockdowns that means that statistically the virus should be dwindling, but yet we're pumping out a vaccine when we've had nearly a year of lockdowns, and now we need a vaccine to get us out of the lockdowns. All I'm saying is, people, is just wipe the sleep from your third eye and start watching things in an energetical form. Start looking at things as what they're providing for you. Are they, are the people that you're talking to providing any safety for you? Are they providing reassurance? There's so many school children whose education's absolutely wrecked. There's so much knock-on effect, and who has to answer for it? Apparently, it's a virus's fault. So I'm going to leave that with you. It's a little personal video. Some people will completely disagree with this, and you know what? I'm glad that you do. I'm glad that you do disagree with me. I'm glad that you do think I'm crazy, because at the end of the day, there's other people out there like me who are standing up for the freedom of people, and we're actually fighting for your corner as well. So I love and console anybody who thinks that I'm talking shit, because just wait and see, because all these conspiracy theories, all these people who's been talking outside the box, who's been talking about all this stuff the whole time it's been going on, you'll finally look at them people and think, bloody hell, yeah man, some of the stuff they're saying is clicking into place. Just type in Great Reset on Google. There is enough information. There's actual public speaking of the royal family, MPs, politicians talking about what the Great Reset is, what they have planned. They have it in writing on websites, on copyrighted, professional, proper government websites, what the Great Reset is. Resetting society. That is what it's about. And you think of how it's going. Small businesses are being shut down. So major corporations are going up. We'll go, Amazon Prime, eBay, all these different companies, these major corporations are doing better than ever. But Margaret, who owns a cake shop down the road, or Sarah, who has a hair salon, they're all doing shit. It's your main corporations that are getting bigger, and your small businesses that are getting smaller. Therefore, it just goes into a completely corporation. All business gets dealt with by major corporations. Look into it. As I always say on this channel, peace and love to anybody watching this. Make sure you take it easy. If you are suffering, with your mental health and negativity, and, you're feeling it really hard and pressurised, I'm going to be making a few videos and talking about a few topics like this, because at the moment it's a very sensitive area, and although your government and your media aren't really covering topics about mental health and about the pressures of this lockdown, the pressures of this coronavirus, there's people out there like me and many other people out there on other social platforms who are talking openly about this and trying to do something about it, because at the end of the day, the government might have let us down, but us as people can group together, and that's what that's what I hope this virus does push us into. That the power doesn't lie in the government, the power lies in the people who's funding and listening. The minute you listen and don't listen and tune off, the minute they lose their power. Yeah, man, take it easy.